Battle control initialized.
Hey people, 5 Aces here. Hallelujah! You won't believe what just happened. The spirit of OpenRA materialized in my living room and it spoke. And it spoke with a clear, deep voice and it said, "There shall be playoffs." And this is indeed what we're seeing here. Playoffs are happening. Just to put things into perspective, I was expecting Mick Jagger and the Queen to perish of old age before those playoffs were actually played. Yet here we are. So, without further ado, let's introduce our players. This is on the top right. We all know him, we all love him. He has the patents pending on the maneuver known as the Barf move. It is Barf indeed, in his Barf color. And his opponent on the left-hand side, spawning as Ukraine this time, it's Orb. Very patent newcomer and also someone who has probably an overrepresentation on my channel. But don't let that distract you from the fact that this is gonna be an awesome series of games. Best of 5, should I mention. And this is one of the most horrible maps in the pool of the entire RHL season. This is River of Piss. No, sorry, did I say Piss? Yeah, it's River of Gold. This is, yikes, this is just horrible. The only way this map goes is base pushing. This is base push central. Look at this, there is no way to safely expand, no way to take an expansion without your opponent being able to contest it by means of Tesla coils or turrets on the other side. So, oh, by the way, excuse me, if there are any strange noises, that's probably just the thunder, the waves of thunder crashing down on me, because there's the apocalypse outside. It's just happening right now. We're having a thunderstorm of biblical proportions, fitting with the intro here. Yeah, this is just masses of water washing down my window, and if anything should happen and I jump up, it's just gonna be that my balcony is flooded and I live in the 4th floor. So yeah, there's that. Okay, what's the game plan? With all that out of the way, we're seeing Barf just taking a simple oil derrick, very safe play, and Orb shortly to follow, a bit behind. Jesus fucking Christ, I closed all my windows. I don't know if it's enough. Alrighty. Flame Tower ready as well, War Factory on the way, so super safe play here for Orb. And an immediate pack-up for Barf. Alright, that's a bit interesting, maybe just wants to secure like this area. It's very, yeah, it's a high saturation, high yield. This actually gives you access to a lot of ore, triple mines, and it's at least gonna give you access to half of the map, which is pretty good. And Orb has rushed the War Factory, probably going for a refinery ore truck into a scout vehicle, which is gonna net him 3 harvesters. A stable eco and, yeah, enough of a kickstart in eco to just boost his infantry production. Should be... What? No! He's not doing this. Come on, Barf! By the way, just as a little heads up, I did this to him in the RHL games that I played against him, and I lost horribly because he had a ranger with an engineer, and my turret wasn't ready in time to kill the engineer. So you can guess how that was going. And also he had a huge infantry force, which killed my infantry. Alright, Barf going with a little flankeroni as well. And in comes the base push. I think it's gonna be a 2-prong. And Orb is... Oh, his flak shark is heading in the right direction. Yeah, spots the pillbox, immediately knows something's awry. Okay, all the alarm bells are on. This is tower defense mode. Tower defense, wave 1. Let's actually go. Oh, the engineer. Yeah, I don't think he would have gotten far. Orb does possess the awareness to defend on a single screen, because that's where his attention has to be centered for the entire remainder of the game. Oh, yikes. Turret being deployed right in range of the Conyard. I think Barf... This must have been... He must have had this down to a science. Because when I was playing this, I was just, you know, taking a ballpark estimate where his MCV might be, but I think Barf actually did the numbers and knew where the MCV was parked and where he could shoot it from. Yeah, this must have been something that a lot of research went into. A lot of unsuspecting new players being subjected to the Barf move. But keep in mind, there's still good eco for Orb, and Barf really doesn't have much. He's coming forward with his MCV, he's got a single... No, he's got 3 harvesters now. Single expansion refinery here. And Orb should be fine for the time being. He's using 2 harvesters as tanks, whether intentional or not. I think it was... Oh, Barf going for the ore truck play though. Jeez Louise. This is brutal. And this ore truck is gonna be able to tank for days. Gonna go in, Focus fire down all the rocket soldiers. Not a single rocket surviving. Hashtag not my rocket. Is that a rocket in your pocket? Is that a harvester in your base? Is like the sensible counter argument. And yes, it is indeed. Harvester being a bit oblivious to the fire of 2 flame towers. Yeah, that's where flame towers are actually not that bad, as long as they're on turrets, because they actually have ridiculous damage output against stationary targets. Look at the DPS those flamers are putting out. This is nothing to scoff at. So, Orb has got a couple venues here. He might actually go for a radar rush, which I don't think he is. Barf is going for the War Factory just now. Keep in mind though, his eco is in the gutter. He's got like, that's not even an eco fleet. That's not even harvesters. Those are 2 like recycling trucks. Just 2 recycling trucks dumping their garbage here. It's like, what is that? 2,000 a minute? That's some really ridiculously low income. His income is in the gutter. But maybe he's got enough to breach here. Orb has again built 5 rockets, one of them perishing here. Oh, what the hell. An aggressive War Factory. Not gonna be able to withstand 2 flame towers for a very long time, though. Oh, the engineer. So, Orb has gotten an engineer as well. Oh, camo pillbox, just to add insult to injury. You know, it's not good enough if you kill your opponent with just a regular pillbox. Camo pillbox it has to be. Oh, the War Factory is so low. So very, very low. There are still a couple of rockets that could take some pot shots at this here, but one of the harvesters needs to tank, and Barf does indeed have the micro to retarget the rocket soldiers. So Orb has to pull back. His engineer, he might need that now. He's got 2 venues here. He can actually send the engineer down south and try patching up the War Factory just at a critical moment. Or he can capture this here. As soon as he captures those 2 ore refineries, it's game for Barf, because he has nowhere else to run. And the War Factory of Orb is getting lower and lower, and Barf's War Factory is still remaining strong. The base push is on, it's gonna continue. What the hell am I even watching? The first heavy tank is coming out for Orb. I think he just wants to break through here, he wants a defensive line. Yikes, there goes the turret. Another turret being deployed, and the War Factory of Orb goes down. The engineer completely oblivious. Oh my goodness, this is a clusterfuck. This is not even a game. This is a straight up grade A clusterfuck. I'm loving it. This gets my seal of approval. The rain has calmed down as well, by the way. Just a little side note here. Why is he focusing on the pillbox? This heavy tank, not the smartest, most prudent investment that Orb has ever made. It's also got a couple idle harvesters. Yeah, and the Kanyard of Orb is being pushed back to the to the last brinks of to the last ditch here. Yikes. Heavy tank goes down without having accomplished too much. But there is no more build radius for Barf, so he has to pack up as well if he wants to make something happen. Right, Barf just doesn't have the econ. All he can do is spam base defenses and spam a couple rifle and rockets. That's all he has. Meanwhile, Orb is on 5 harvesters. Only on 1 refinery, so the yield is not going to be that high. But still. And look at how those flame towers are just murdering power plants. I think it takes 5 fireballs. 5 or 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Okay. No, maybe 7. 5, no, 6. Jesus. But Orb's still not on low power, which speaks for him. He's also still got a service depot to his name. What? Barf sold the Kanyard? Okay, that's a last-ditch effort. That's an all-in maneuver. If this doesn't succeed, he is toast. He's done for. He's realized that his eco just couldn't keep up with Orbs. What is this game? This is insanity. Oh, Insanity Incorporated. This is not a good spot. Buddy, this is a really, really bad barracks. So one last chance that Barf has is all-inning and maybe capturing the Kanyard because it's completely undefended down in the south. Obviously Barf wouldn't know that because he opted for a light tank. Again with the Harvester. One more light tank, but there are 2 rocket soldiers. Should be enough to get the cleanup eventually. The base defenses are just faltering and crumbling, but Orb still has a Kanyard. He's also still got a service depot. Yeah, I'm not seeing a way back into the game for Barf here. His MCV, he sold it. Which, in my opinion, was a very dumb move. He could have just taken this here, ecoed up, maybe even let go of the pressure. maybe even let Orb just recover and fake an attack with a couple of rifles here and there. And meanwhile just redeploy his Conyard to take some eco back. Those harvesters are beginning to wander about. Not the best position for them to be in. Last light tank of Barf, last of the last of the rifle benders. Alrighty, no, that's too high of an infantry density here. I highly doubt that Barf is gonna make this happen here. So basically on nothing. He's making this work on a shoestring budget. Also, leaves me to question why Orb just didn't send a little detachment, because he knew that Barf just had nothing in the way of defense. Oh, Tesla Coil. Also an expansion MCV. Right, this game is officially over. Expansion MCV out for Orb. Nice hustle, good hustle here by Barf. Ooh, there's only one ref. Nah, buddy, it's not happening. It's not in the cards. Also, the only primary barracks is being camped by the Tesla Coil, and the other barracks is way over here. Doesn't look too good for you anymore. And we are going to do the econ check. You know, Barf is not that far behind right now. It's like 4k difference, 3k difference. But he just doesn't have a way to scale back. So if he loses his next push, he's toast. Also, those base defenses, yeah. You wish those were units, buddy. Might actually even go for a sell. Next heavy tank is back online. Yeah, this game has been really close. At least for the earlier stages. Yeah, nice try with the engineer. GG being called by Barf. Yeah, after selling his Conyard. Whether there was a misplay or not, I'm not sure. Yeah, a misplay was definitely, but whether it was a misclick, I'm of two minds. I think Barf just tried to scramble and scrounge, get the 1250 for the Conyard sell, and get some juicy infantry and finish it with an all-in push, but it didn't happen. Orb was just too stalwart, Orb's defense too stalwart, the Maginot line here not being broken by all the base pushing, and that's just what I was talking about. This map is base push central. No matter how you put it, this is always gonna end like, maybe not in this crazy of a push, but I don't like it. Not my cup of tea. Alright, fantastic opener. We strap yourselves in, buckle up, guys. We are 1 game deep out of 5. See you in round 2.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Alright, as we all know, announced catastrophes tend to not happen. The rains have dissipated, as I guess the rain clouds decided to have mercy on me. And we're also, speaking of catastrophes and of bad segues, we're also back on a better map here, which is Stanica, one of my, yeah, I guess it's not my favorite map, but it's in the top 3 for the current RHL pool, which doesn't say much because the current RHL pool has been a dumpster fire. Yeah, just my opinion. Alrighty, let's hope we get some more, some better maps. Also, by the way, speaking of bad segues, again, we're gonna have the map-making contest, hosted by a couple people, including myself, most notably Blacken, new mapmaker, you know, some of the higher-ups in the RHL community. Also, Noob Mapmaker, obviously, is the guy who invented the stuff in the first place. So this time around, Orb is not fooling around. He has enough of Barf's tomfoolery. He's sending in a rifle just to check if the Conyard is still there. Yeah, still a Conyard, still a power plant, still a barracks, and rip in pepperonis. He's done his job. Barf is not cheesing with a zero ore truck all-in infantry with double barracks. That actually works nicely in TD. Not so much in RA, because one base defense just murders infantry. Alrighty. So we're seeing the Engineer of Orb safely taking the derricks and a detachment. Pretty good. That's like a wolf pack of 8 is going to come in and probably put some pressure onto the oil derrick, harass it for a bit, and we're gonna hear... Oops, sorry, my mouse bugged out a bit. We're gonna be able to hear the terrible driving fire of the rifles for a bit. Let's see. Sorry, my mouse is bugged a bit. Doesn't usually do that. Not the intended behavior. Yeah, there we go. Just a wee bit of pressure. Just some light pressure here, and also probably a ranger. Yeah, Barf loves going for the one harvester ranger. Is something that I also like, but it's risky. You need to make something happen with this, and you need to inflict at least some damage or at least capture a vital structure. So what Orb is doing here is essentially just biding his time. And Barf has used this, he's utilized this, built a ranger, and delivered his engineer. So he can steal away the the oil derrick of Barf, of Orb. Yeah, pretty good. Could also actually go ahead and harass those rocket soldiers. Oh, that would be so juicy. I don't know why Orb is going for this build. This is a super early 3 rocket soldiers. Massive investment. Probably an APC drop from the looks of it. This strikes me as an interesting build from Orb regardless. He's got massive infantry field presence already with the 3 rockets. Okay. Oh, the engineer just trying to get the magic wrench. He's got the magic touch, you know, just wrenching the Carniard, but it doesn't happen. So all that happens is a net loss of 300 for Orb, as he has to pop down a flame tower to prevent his build queue from being interrupted. And this is gonna be interesting. Yikes, sorry, my mouse is bugged so hard right now. Don't know what's happened. Ugh, horrible. Alright, need to fix this somehow. There we go. It's a bit better. Okay, so Ranger has been retained. He's delivered an engineer to the front lines. Not the best play. Hey, we can live with it. 4 harvesters up. 4 harvesters for both, actually. And a service depot as well. So we're gonna see a standard expansion timing here for Barf. He's going for his 5th harvester into an MCV already on the build queue. It's ready right now, ready to roll out at the factory. He's been a bit idle right there, and I think the reason for that was he was afraid of the counter cheese from Orb after what he pulled last game. He's built a lot of defensive rifles. He decided not to apply any pressure. Ooh. The flak truck just barely missing the MCV before it redeploys. Pretty lucky here. Could have actually, no. I've seen MCVs getting sniped by a single flak truck because they can indefinitely block as long as your opponent is trying to outmaneuver you and you're always a step ahead of them. It's like a game of 4D chess. So the standard timing for Barf has gone through. Orb has, however, recaptured his oil derrick, so nice little back and forth action on the derrick. I like it, I love it, I want some more of it. Oh, that's Barf taking a pretty aggressive stance here. He is going for the hospital snipe, and there is just lots and lots of rifles. Only those initial 4 rocket soldiers for Orb. So I'm really wondering, I'm left to wonder. I'm bereft of clues as to what his build is here. He's also going for a standard expansion timing, but it's way later, despite having the same number of harvesters and having the same number of light vehicles. So, I don't know, maybe it's just a build order failed, really. Alright, this is gonna be the flak truck, poking, prying, a bit of pressure. Oh, that's why he waited for a Tesla coil to be online, and that's why what he sunk his money into. This is gonna be smart. Yeah, there's gonna be a Soviet barracks into a Tesla coil main patch ore camp situation, and this is a situation that Barf has to deal with right now, because it's gonna fry his harvesters, short circuit them. There's also a massive infantry dispatch. Ooh, light vehicle getting sniped here, the flak truck from Orb. Alright, Barf has enough rockets. He might actually try and bust this. Yeah, trying to bust the Tesla coil here. Smart play. Smart play allows him to continue his mining operations there, even at the loss of maybe 4 rocket soldiers and a couple of rifles. It's been an expensive trade, but it's been worthwhile, because the next Tesla coil from Orb is gonna just be a bit delayed. What the hell is this radar dome? Barf, you monster. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe he just hoped it was a power plant and popped it down, because this is a horrendous position for a radar dome. Alright, and I think he's fired up artillery production here. Keep in mind, artilleries are relatively cheap, clocking in at 800, a bit cheaper than a medium tank. So he can actually do this here, first artillery coming online. But this is horrendous positioning for the radar dome. It's been revealed as well. There's gonna be a base trade type situation. Barf curiously retargeting the medium tanks. It was probably not a smart idea. He should have just zapped whatever he could get his coils on. Alright, this is the ear-deafening sounds of the gunfire. Tell me that the radar dome has not been long for this world. Alright. That was a dubious radar dome to begin with. And I think Orb is gonna have enough to bust. Yeah, the artilleries are gonna have to find an angle. They are going for the Carniard. I think Orb should undeploy. This is just a freebie that is giving his opponent here. Oh, it's too late. It's too late. Even now, the medium tank that could come in would finish the deal. Yeah, this was not a good play by Orb as well. Not a great idea by him either. I don't know what that was all about. But the medium tank is gonna get thrown away. But at least he has cleared out this incursion and he's retained his ranger. Both his ranger and the medium tank, in fact. Gotta patch it up. Yeah, smart play. Orb is long distance mining. This is a... This is something I also tend to do a lot of times because, like, there is no time to jump down another expansion. So, yeah. But it's not the smartest play in the world, really. Because it's gonna limit your income. He needs an actual expansion and he needs it right now. But he's building a radar dome himself. Huh. Alright, there's a massive force for Orb. And we're gonna check the assets after this. 7 harvesters for Orb, 6 for Barf, but long distance mining is gonna keep his income in check. And Barf is 4k up in the assets. Huh. Interesting. In comes a flank with a heavy tank. He's gonna probably try and target the ore refiner and some of the eco of Barf. But those 2 artilleries, the only 2 artilleries to ever come out before the radar dome went down in a fireball. Oh, and they're gonna have such an impact. This infantry force is gonna get decimated. Desecrated. Obliterated. What was Orb thinking here? I guess his thinking was he wanted to get the ore truck down, but he already had the refinery. This was completely unnecessary. It was a bit of overkill. And also a lot of overcommitment. MCV has been shooed away by a bit of infantry, but here we have three mediums. Probably not gonna achieve much. Maybe can snipe an ore truck if Orb is inattentive here. Oh, but Barf going for the main base again. He does this so well. Just apply a bit of pressure with some random units and then send in the cavalry. Send in the mainstay forces and they are gonna waltz all through the base of Orb. What does Orb lose? How much does Orb lose here? Can he maintain his position? Alright, 1 heavy tank going down. And stellar hits from the artillery. So again, he really needs an airfield. And he really needs a yak to snipe just those... Oh, what are they doing? Going in melee range. Orb should retarget. Orb doesn't find the retarget onto the artilleries. He could have sniped both of them. That would have been such a good play. Ah, the tanks up top have been cleared out. And now it's time for the secondary forces of Orb, who has split himself up, to go to town. Oh, okay, first artillery goes down. The second one, however, is still alive. Ooh, nice micro from Barf. Sending it back, and it's still on a pixel of health. It is still alive. Can still dish out so much damage against infantry. What is going to target fire? No, he's going for the Carnyard. Pulling it back. By the way, the Vet 2 is making a significant difference here because Vet 2 gives him way higher turn rate. Oh, it's not gonna be enough though. It's no. The tank busting missile, the javelin missile to the back here. I guess it's a Russian, like, RPG, whatever. Yeah, tank busting missile regardless. And Orb is gonna have all the time in the world to patch his forces up. He's got an aerial scout unit out, he's got the Yak. And he can easily pick those 2 artilleries. He might be in a good position here. This is actually just like a repeat of game 1. Yeah, fantastic scout. He's not sending his MCV in blind. He's using the Yak to scout and screen. Just check out the layout of the base, and he's seen everything. It's like, I have seen everything. Yeah, more artillery's coming online. Oh, such a worthwhile Yak. Gets snipes on 2 arties. Third arty still alive. There's a Hind in the equation here, in the mix. It's gonna survive for the time being. One of the artists being dealt with as well, so... Barf is going for mass... he's gotten a secondary radar dome up after he had been losing the first one, so he's going for mass Hinds here and artilleries. But this is a playstyle that can easily crumble, especially if your opponent is good with Yak Micro. And Orb, being like a jack-of-all-trades player, yeah, he knows how to handle Yaks very well. He's gonna have to desaturate this here, because this looks horrendous. Maybe send 1 harvester down there to the other patch, 1 harvester on this patch, and the other ones should go to the expansion. Just to guarantee full saturation. Oh, the retarget with the flak truck just doesn't come down onto the artillery in time. Yep, there's an anti-air gun. Okay, so Barf desperately needs more flak trucks here to deal with the artists and Hinds there. A cost-efficient counter to both the tier 2 units from the allies. But at the same time, you really need to make... You really need the micro to make them work. So Orb is instead going for the main. He's got a tech center up. Wow. Alright, that's confidence.
Overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
As the guys from... Oh, nice pick on the V2. As the guy from Darkest Dungeon likes to put it. Alright, and apropos putting it. Speaking of putting it, Orb is gonna take his heavy tanks and put him into Barf's rear. In the rear with the gear. Okay, this is not gonna end pretty here. Barf is gonna lose his entire base yet again, while he's just struggling to keep up with the micro on two fronts. Ooh, out comes an artillery. That might be easy. Might be an easy hold here. Yeah, Barf selling off everything, including the war factory and the kitchen sink. Okay. That's a complete bust here. And Orb can go deeper, because he's not losing any vital infrastructure here. There is so much line of sight. This is beautiful. Oh, that was good micro though. Barf has sniped out all the rocket soldiers and, yeah, essentially only heavy tanks and a couple of rifles remaining. It's 5 heavy tanks. This can put a dent into anything. Not into 20 rocket soldiers though, is what experience tells me. Alright. No, but he's struggling to keep up on this front with the V2 micro. And we've seen, so they're definitely being microed because Orb has just launched missiles at the barracks, and usually they don't auto-target barracks. So yeah, good micro here by Orb. Good awareness. Barf has dealt with the tanks here, lost an MCV though, so he's back on 1 MCV and he doesn't have a service depot to patch it up right now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Barf. Please, no, not like this. Oh, that's 7 artilleries. Just idling. Meanwhile, those V2s have made more and more advances into enemy lines. Barf, what are you doing? That's a SAM site. Those are good against aircraft. I am at a loss of words. I don't know what that was. It was... Oh god. 8 seconds on the power bombs. If he gets a wipe onto this, if he gets a good angle with the power bombs, this is just gonna be game. Jesus Christ. He's pulling back. Oh, what the hell? A mammoth tank as well. Just to add insult to injury. Yeah, Barf is probably... Orb is probably gonna lose the Carniot here. Maybe gonna lose his mammoth tank as well. But he's got the Iron Curtain up. Oh! Didn't fire it here. Where's the Iron Curtain? Please. Okay. He could have used it on the... Radar Dome going down. Radar Dome? Never mind. Radar Dome staying alive. Very much staying alive and well. Look at this composition. 7 rockets. Oh my goodness. Yeah, he could have used the Iron Curtain to keep his... mammoth tank alive. But probably... At the moment, he was too busy microing other things. It's really hard if you don't have a hotkey setup. Something that I'd recommend all newcomers, just have a hotkey setup. Oh, nice. 2 more V2s in the backlines. And the Carniot, that was... He didn't have a base defense prepared, Barf, that was, so I don't know what that was. Oh, beautiful stop micro. That was just perfect stop micro here from Orb. So I explained what happened. He double tapped. He shot with his infantry was firing on the Carniot, and as soon as the Hind engaged, Orb pressed stop to make them retarget the air unit, which the rocket sources consider a higher priority. So that's why that ended the way it ended here. And all's well that ends well. Orb takes a 2-0 lead in a best of 5. This is gonna get real spicy. Alright, just one more game and he's closing it out. I don't know, maybe those other games are dummy replays, let's see. That was a fantastic game regardless, and just goes to show that Stanica is a way more, in my opinion, well-balanced map. More balanced around having to find flanks and having to find vectors. Yeah, and fantastic V2 play from Orb as well. Barf with some nice tricks up his sleeve, especially the decap and decap, the splitting the armies in half, yeah. But... ultimately it was not enough, and Orb takes a 2-0. See you in Game 3.
Battle control terminated. Battle control initialized.
Alright, game number 3, and all the ingredients are there for an exciting finale to the series. If Orb takes this home, he's gonna take a 3-0 over Barf, and he is gonna claim, well, he's not gonna claim any title actually yet. Not just yet, these are just the playoffs, but these decide who goes, like the winner of this series goes into the finals, and the loser goes into the small finals between 3rd and 4th place. So it's actually relatively decisive. One of those two is going to be a top 2 player for sure in RHL Masters this season, and the other one isn't. So why is Barf so... what the hell? Oh, Orb went for a rack skip, okay. So this means that he's not going to have any infantry presence, and Barf is happily streaming infantry just into the base of Orb. So luckily for Orb, Barf is actually not Soviets. If he were to have any semblance of Soviets and any semblance of cheese play, he would have gone for like 5 rifles, 5 grens, and he could have closed this game out super early on by just putting Orb so far behind the 8 ball that there's no recovery. But I guess they... let me see. Did they choose random factions? No. Picked Russia, and Barf went Annie, so Barf actually did a draw of the RNG wheel. Okay, interesting. So the rest of the rifles haven't been revealed yet. Oh god, I know this build. This is something that Barf has attempted like in Season 2, Season 3. This is... I know what's happening here. He's gonna send a couple of rockets on, down there later down the line, and he's gonna accompany it and garnish it with a light tank. And the light tank is gonna be there as a damage soak, and then he's gonna try and harass the eco lines. Yes, getting his rifles into position already. This is something he's done a lot. Oh, might give it away. No, that was just one rifle blast, so... this just appears to be an innocuous scout. Just, hey guys, what's poppin'? What's poppin'? Yeah, that's a good read here on the base and the positioning of Orb's buildings. Also just to exclude any kind of cheese, and here we see the rockets. 3 in number. That's a bit lower than I expected. I was expecting 5, because with 5 you can almost double tap a harvester. That's almost close enough to like 2-shotting it. And yep, prediction. Cast a prediction win. There goes the light tank. This is a Season 2, Season 3 build. And let's see if it's gonna be crowned with success. Orb getting his eco lines up, and unluckily for Orb, he has gone for he's gonna have 4 harvesters on this patch. This means that one of them might get sniped immediately. I don't know though why Barf has pulled back. Maybe he was just afraid of the scout. Afraid of a light vehicle that might have scouted this. This flak truck would have been lethal. So yeah. Gonna be a nice attempt here, and Orb has like nothing at the moment. He's still producing ore trucks. This might hit a nasty timing, where Barf actually can inflict a lot of damage. He's also himself up to 4 harvesters. He is earlier on the service depot. Why? How is that possible? He has 3 ore refineries as well. Okay, interesting. Orb built 3 power plants, and he's also... I don't know what else there is to it. Orb is really behind on the build queue again. His service depot is way later. Maybe he's invested in more and more power plant, but that's not can't be the entire difference. Oh, the light tank meeting an untimely end at the hands of 5 rockets. But this is gonna pull the entire eco lines offline here. Oh, the flak truck getting caught off guard as well. This is bad for Orb. Yeah, he hasn't lost anything major, but he's blocking his own refinery. He's pulled the harvester off. So it's already working. And here we're seeing an APC. This might be a nice counter-attack, except Barf has scouts everywhere. He loves doing this. Barf going up to mass barracks off the back of this. Ooh, not gonna find an ore truck snipe, but again, everything's got to be pulled off line. There's a big strike line here. This is starting to look like France. Come on, guys. The garbage dump trucks just sitting around here. And the light tank has been replaced with the Ranger. I don't know. The APC is the kingmaker on the field here. The harvesters are going forward, very ballsy, but only 1 rocket remaining, now 0, down to 0, and that's a complete wipe, almost at no cost to Orb. very good. However, off the back of this, somehow Barf was so ahead in the eco timing. Let me check the econ graph. Yeah. Okay, this was worth it because he pulled so many harvesters off from Orb off the line. So Orb is super behind in assets right now. He's on 25 under 30k, despite having held on for this long and just not even having suffered any losses. Oh, he's gonna run into a pillbox. The Conyard is taking a lot of fire, needs to undeploy stat. The Flame Tower, yeah, Flame Tower gonna camp the racks at least. So that's gonna be good. Oh, finds a spot to deploy. No block from the Ranger. Pretty close, and luckily there is no engineer in the Ranger. Orb just doesn't have the rockets yet. He needs them to come forward. And oh, that's the mainstay force. That's really deadly. The Flame Tower goes down. Orb is floating and Barf is broke. What's happening? Okay, Barf has mined out his main base with his 5 harvesters. He's now... Oh, he's up to 7 harvesters here. He's got stellar eco. And there's a flank attack of him as well. This is 38k under 28k. Let's look at the trades. You know, Barf and Orb relatively even trades, 7k and 4k respectively, but such a good position. Oh, Orb escaping with his Conyard at escape velocity. Yeah, but no, in comes a second flank with with 3 medium tanks, lots of rockets, lots of rifles, and that's just the Barf build. That's something that always leaves me wondering. How did he get so much more than me? And really the answer is he just made the enemy harvesters get pulled off the line time and again. And that's really all there's to it. Oh, bad ref deployment here. Orb's harvester going down immediately. The MCV being used as a tank here. Yeah, you're not supposed to spearhead the assault. Yikers. Okay, finally Orb's eco stabilizing, but he's on 4 harvesters. He does not have any territory to his name. The only expansion he can claim here is top right. This is why this map is also a bit bad, by the way. Look at how much detail the creator has put into this. I don't know. Not one of my favorite maps, to be honest. Yeah, Orb is just in shambles in game number 3. After having such a dominant position in game 1 and 2. Yeah, I don't know what happened here. It's just the Barf effect. And this time, not a big Barf move, but rather a smart splitting up of the forces. Ooh, deploy Orb, deploy. No. Maybe there's just one tile that didn't work out for him. Yeah, look at this. Everything is already under control of Barf. And there is just, at that stage, there is no comeback. What could he have done? Maybe teched and hoped for a miracle. Oh, the Conyard just again being caught off guard. With its pants down. Oh, why did he stop? Really bad. Oh, that's just the nail in the coffin for this game here. Orb just being bled dry. He's on 30k under 45k. A 50% asset difference. That's just nothing to scoff at. Barf is completely broke, but he's still maintaining his production. And in comes the collapse onto the only expansion. He is going to take another expansion for himself. Orb needs to run, and that's probably going to spell the end of the game, because Orb knows when it's over. Yeah, that's going to be the GG. That's just a wall of pillboxes littering the map on this side, and no way to get to an expansion for Orb, who's going to lose his MCV to the tank here as well. And come on, man. Yeah, he's calling it. This has been a very quick and decisive game, unlike the other two. I mean, the other two were interesting as well, but this has been a bit one-sided. So this is the first time that Barf has shown his muscles, and this is going to be interesting because we're going to see each other in game 4, and maybe there's going to be game 5 after that. Who knows? Find out. Ah, shit. I have, you know, the timer. This is already over half an hour. I'm gonna split this up. Game 4 and 5 are gonna be next week's cast, so a way to grab in on the juicy ad revenue, which I don't have because I'm not putting ads anyway. So yeah, that's part 1 of the series. Unplanned, but hey, those games did go on for a bit longer than I'd expected. We're gonna see the conclusion in next week's cast. Stay tuned until then. Thanks for watching. 5 Aces out.
Battle control terminated.